Blessed day, everyone. Dr. Vanessa here. Welcome, Kingdom Health family. Today, I want to talk about patterns and customs. Patterns and customs. I was reflecting on Romans 12:2, where the scripture says, don't copy the behaviors and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way that you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good, pleasing, and perfect. From there, just spending time in meditation and reflection, the Lord began to impress upon me some of the patterns and customs that are present in this world. And I want to share it with you too as well. Do you recognize some patterns and customs of this world when it comes to your health? If it's joggling your mind and you're probably not coming up with anything, let me help you with that. So let's think. Dunkin' Donuts says America runs on Dunkin'. Burger King says at Burger King, you can have it your way. And then after your order, they tell you, you rule. At Popeyes, they said, love that chicken from Popeyes. Dun, dun, dun. Can you hear the beat after that through the commercials, right? McDonald's says, I'm loving it. Chick-fil-A, even though we want to call it Save Chicken, right? Eat more chicken. That's the tagline for Chick-fil-A. Think about chicken. Sometimes culturally we say the only way I'm eating chicken if it's fried. We think that things only are one way, and they don't need to just be one way. But these are the patterns. These are the customs of this world. And can we think about this? A lot of research, a lot of science, a lot of study has gone into this, that if we eat processed foods, some of which I've listed some of the places that provide processed foods, over and over and over and over, what does it do? Add more sugar, add more fat, all because it needs to be preserved for mass sales, right? Mass transactions that need to happen with people, right? The salt is needed, the fat is needed, the sugar is needed for preservation and for savory taste. But we know the linkage. It can relate to high blood pressure. It can relate to high cholesterol. It can increase the likelihood of more weight. It can cause things like higher blood sugars and mess up the way we metabolize things, not to mention the artificial flavors and seasonings. These are the customs of this world. And God has given us some health tips through his word. Don't copy the customs and the behaviors of this world, but we can be transformed by changing the ways that we think. So we really need to, I encourage you, as I was even challenged myself in reflection, stop, take a minute, reflect, think about the customs and the patterns of this world that go counter to our health. And think about it. Even as kingdom citizens, we need to be countercultural. We can't be the same as the world. The scripture says, and God is telling us, don't copy that. Though America can run on Dunkin', though McDonald's can say, I'm loving it, and Popeyes can say, eat more chicken, and Burger King can tell you, empower you by saying you rule. Do not copy these patterns. Our day doesn't need to start with what we think it needs to start with. We don't need to go through the drive-through. We don't need to do these things. We shouldn't be doing these things because as kingdom people, we are countercultural to the customs and the patterns of this world. Why? Because God has our inheritance is health, is wellness, is healing, right? That is our portion. And when that's not the case, right? We need to go back and reflect. What are the patterns? What are the customs that we've been adhering to? And what can we shift and what can we change, right? We can be countercultural in a healthy way, in a good way. We need to reflect. We need to check things and begin to reflect where the disconnect has been. Where has the misalignment been? Because ultimately we are being misaligned with the principle, the kingdom principle that God has given us. Take that time to reflect as I've been reflecting as well with you. We have the choice today between life and death, blessings and curses. I call on all of heaven to witness the decision that you and I make. Oh, that we would choose life so that we can live and our descendants can live as well. We want our children and our children's children to not copy the customs and the patterns of this world, but to be countercultural, right? By allowing God to change the way that we think, the way that we do things, so that not only that we can be a living and pleasing and acceptable sacrifices unto him. Remember to like, share, help others be aware, put hashtag I choose life, and say how you're going to do it. Be blessed, everyone, and I'll see you here.